Hello, and welcome to the Bawse Network. My name is April Canoli, and I want to thank you so much for joining me on this Sunday. This particular segment is called Motivational Mindset Sundays. And so today's topic, we're going to focus on mindset for success. And quite honestly, this topic can be used for a myriad of different things. Primarily, today's topic is going to focus more so on just getting started, right? So we are at the top of the year, um, the first full week. Today is what? Sunday, I believe it's the 5th, if I'm not mistaken. Today is the 5th of a whole new decade. And you see all the memes flying around talking about New Year, New Me, or let's get this money, things of that nature. But in reality, in my opinion, I believe that none of that can exist until your mindset is on point. Straight up and down, no filter, no chaser. Your mindset needs to be on point. So, what do I mean by on point? That means speaking positivity and life to yourself before you can jump on anybody else's train, before you can say, oh, I'm doing this for so and so or for this company or for whatever. Your mindset, what you say to yourself on a daily basis, needs to be spoken in truth, in positivity, in building yourself up, because you won't be any good use to anybody else if you're not of good use to yourself. Being good to you, patting yourself on the back. So, depending upon where you are in your goals and where you are in setting and executing those particular goals, you have to say, all right, this is where I'm at, this is where I want to be. So, what does that roadmap look like? That's the biggest thing. Because if that plan doesn't come together, if you don't create some instructions, if you don't give yourself mini goals. So let's break that down. What does that look like? Mini goals. For me personally, I give my sons 2 goals to achieve every month. And those goals strategically align to the much larger goal. So for example, my middle son wants to get a car. And by right, he should have already had his car, but he made some different decisions in life that prevented him from being able to do so, uh, at an earlier age. So, what are we doing? At the end of the year, I told him, I said, okay, first we let me back up a little bit. So, we looked at the type of car that he wanted, if he wanted to lease or finance, or if he just wanted to buy the car outright. He opted for buying or what we call a cash car, right? So with that cash car, we designated how much to put aside for, to put towards that purchase. So he wants to spend about $5,000 on a used car, just something to get him from A to B and to be able to not have to walk to work, of which is a blessing in disguise anyway, because he literally lives maybe 7 minutes from his job, right? From where we live here in Texas. So he walks to work every day, and it rains, sleet, or snow. That's what he does. That's part of his routine. It took him a while to get his routine. So we said, okay, let's establish a certain way of doing things. Let's get that mindset together. So for him, I assigned him to look at motivational videos on YouTube once a day. I also asked him to write down 10 things that he likes about himself, or that he could speak life into himself on, meaning I am strong, I am confident, I am, insert whatever you want to put there, right? So we did that for a couple of months. He got his job, and now I'm setting him up on a plan that by the end of this year, he will be able to successfully purchase his car outright. And then he'll also have monies left over for insurance, repairs, things, modifications, because you know how young men are. They want to be able to go and change something, a knob or whatever, on their vehicle. So, in and of that, those goals were to save money, right? He put aside a certain amount every month, or, you know, every 2 weeks that he got paid. Rain, sleet, or shine, doesn't matter if he wanted to do something else. His bigger goal is to get that car, right? So for him, it made making some adjustments to his lifestyle. He had to change up some things, had to, you know, do some things differently. So, and that's what he, you know, committed to doing. And so far, so good, I must say. He's on track, and he's doing better than what I low-key expected him to do. And it's a pleasant surprise for that. It's showing me growth for him, and it's showing me that he really, really wants to take his life at this point to the next level. So the next part of that, when it comes to mindset, is constantly feed yourself good information. We have so many advertisements coming to us, so much that bombards us on a daily basis. Sometimes that noise can get very loud, and it's distracting. And when we're not able to see the light at the end of that proverbial tunnel, it creates a certain level of sadness, a certain level of, dang, I wish I could, or dang, life is giving me lemons and I don't have any sugar to make it lemonade, or I don't have enough water to change it into something else. You know what I mean? Quieting the noise. I personally had to walk through that journey myself. There was a point in time in my life where it just seemed like everyone turned their back on me and nothing was going right. I had gotten laid off from a job, and I had all of these dreams and these goals tied to that job. And here for me is where I really got into multiple streams of income. And it comprised of various different things. I must say that my life resume, has been very interesting. Ebbs and flows of life, right? We all go through those things. But there was just so much going on all at the same time. And I raised my sons alone. So we were going through some life issues with one of my sons. And so all that noise was going on. And it just created this vortex. I think that's the only other way that I can describe it. It created a vortex, and I felt like I was spiraling down. It was very uncomfortable, very annoying. I had to make a lot of adjustments. I was used to living a particular lifestyle, and I had to put the pause on that lifestyle. I had to take it down a couple of notches, you know. But I will say, in the midst of all of that, it gave me a greater appreciation for life, for what I had, for what I lost, because I've lost a lot. I've lost a lot, which is why I feel like doing this particular segment on the Bawse Network is vital. I could talk about business all day long. That's my strong suit. I could talk about finance when my partner comes on and we start going into the finance tips. We could do that all day long. But none of that can be executed if your mindset is not right. So, quieting the chaos and being able to come back to center and say, okay, what am I trying to do here? What do I want? What do I want to create? The other point of that is manifestation. Oh, I am a huge just cheerleader for manifestation. Manifesting what you want out of life is, oh my gosh, like it needs to be taught in school. That's obviously my opinion. But I feel like there's not enough people talking about it. There's not enough people that believe in it. And when I say believe, I don't mean in a religious sense. I mean you have power to talk something into existence. And people think it's coincidence or, oh, well, oh, that just happened. Well, no, you had to think about it. You had to bring it into fruition. You had to say, okay, I see myself as X, or I'm going to have this type of car, or I'm going to have this type of job. You really have to understand how manifestation works. You guys remember that book called The Law of Attraction or The Secret? A lot of people thought that book was too wordy. A lot of people really took off with that book. Like there were so many it was like a movement behind that book. I totally understand why. But at the same time, the core principles were you have the power to create the life that you want to live. And for me personally, that's actually one of my mantras. You have the power to create the life that you want to live. So even in the midst of chaos and everything that's going on, and you have, people in your ear saying that's not good, your life is over, or you can't do this, or why do you want to do this particular project, or why don't you just stick to what you've been doing? But why live your life in a miserable state of mind? If you stay in a place that's miserable, if you stay in a place that is a energy suck or energy incubus, no, not incubus, succubus. And do you really think that that's going to bring you anything positive? It's not. It really isn't. If you look at the bigger picture of things, keeping a positive mindset and being able to manifest what you want on a daily basis, on a weekly, monthly, semi-monthly basis, being able to do that allows for you to grow. It also affects your immediate circle of influence. It also affects your external circle of influence or center of excellence, or however you want to call that. But when you start to change your mindset, the people that you're around the most, they feed off of that energy. And then they start to think, well, you know what? If he or she can do that, then you know what? Let me try it. Or they'll start asking questions about what it is that you're doing that's making you change your mind or speak more positively. Prime example, you know how when you have like a favorite saying or a certain way of saying things, For me personally, I like to create little sayings for the year, right? So last year it was 1 time for the 1-9. And this year it is 2 points for the 2-0, right? And I typically say that when I am cheering my friends on, or when there's great news, or when I see them looking fly, or they get something. Like one of my good girlfriends just got a new vehicle. And I looked and I walked around the entire car because she had literally manifested this vehicle. She had been talking about it for at least the better part of 2 years, how she wanted this certain sedan from a certain maker. And I'll just tell you, it's an Audi. She wanted a certain level of the Audi. Well, guess what wound up happening? She got that Audi at a better rate than her current Audi. And she was able to just walk in, hand him the keys to the old car, pick up the keys to the new car, and it was everything that she wanted, plus a better APR and everything. And so when she came by, and it was literally on the 31st of December, right? And so on the 1st, she comes over, and I walked around the car. I was like, all right, I see you. 2 points for the 2-0, you know? And it was just a defining moment for her. And I told her, you know what? Congratulations. I'm so freaking proud of you because you manifested this into a reality. And she just kind of looked. She was like, you know what? I did. And I'm like, yes, you did. You did what you needed to do. You made the moves that you needed to make. You kept it at the forefront of your mind. You spoke it into existence. You got your mindset ready for such a boss move. It was inevitable, you know? Like literally the universe made it happen for her. She wasn't even in the market for it. She went in to have her car serviced, and they said, you know what? Well, we have a 6 on available if you're interested. You know, you can always trade in this one and get this one over here. And when she started putting everything together, it was like a light bulb moment went off. It was awesome. It was really awesome to see all of these things come together. So when I tell you that manifestation works, it really does. And most times it'll surprise you. It'll make you be like, dang, oh yeah, I did do that, huh? Ding, ding, ding. So mindset for success. You have to get the foundation together. That's what I consider the foundation, to be honest. Mindset for success. That is something, it's worth cultivating. It's worth planting those seeds to harvest at a later time. Yeah, you take it one day at a time. You know, we all know it's not going to happen overnight, but at the same time, if you're building a business, or you're working on your career, or you're working on personal achievements, consistency and having the right mindset will give you the results that you're looking for. You absolutely cannot put out negative energy and expect a positive outcome. It's not going to happen. It's just not. Mindset for success. I wrote a book called Driven for Success. And previous to me rebranding and things like that, my Instagram was called Driven for Success. And it circled mainly around mindset. And I kept the book. I changed the name of my IG because I just wanted it to be my name. Just manifesting higher level things, making some changes in that realm. But my book is still available. I'll leave the link in the description. And if you follow me, or if you're on Instagram, my Instagram is April Canoly, and that's APRILKENOLY on Instagram, and I'll have it linked as well. So that's it for Motivational Mindset Sundays, this edition. And I want to thank you so much for your time. Again, my name is April Canoli. I'm the creator and founder of the Bawse Network. Thank you so much for your time. I really, really appreciate it. And if you like what I had to say for today, or you like the message in general, please feel free to share and subscribe to our podcast. We officially launch on February 1st, and we will have a lot of information for you. It'll circle around mindset, obviously, finance, business structure, women in business, men in business, small business, everything business. And again, all of it really circles around mindset. You got to make 2020 an amazing decade for yourself, or the 20s. I saw a hashtag floating around called the Roaring 20s, like it was back in the 20th century. So, with that being said, I will talk to you guys later. Bye for now.